Oh, you know what? This angle shows my legs. I would have worn pants.
Guess you're going to have to show everyone how big your freaking lower pythons are. You forgot to wax today? I caught you on a non-waxing day. Fuck, dude. I forgot to nair today. Forgot to nair and exfoliate today. Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and building your business. Join us as we take you along our own business building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of local and national experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
This episode is brought to you by Property Management Redefined. PMR is not just managing properties, they're creating partnerships that build long-term success for property owners. John and his team can be reached at manage@gopmr.com or by phone 267-753-6005. Tim.
Yes, Sean.
Who's a good client for PMR?
Property Management Redefined is looking for property owners who value three things: accountability, reliability, and a results-driven approach. They want to maximize returns, but still provide client and tenant satisfaction.
There's a lot of property managers out there.
Yes, there are.
What does PMR do really well?
Biggest thing is they're seamless and they're worry-free. So with that approach in mind, it allows the property owner to put their trust in PMR and know that the results will be there. The other thing I think a property owner is really going to value because they do it so well is that they have a local expert team, boots on the ground, managing your properties and your tenants' expectations every day so that you feel good about your investments.
We have millions of listeners out there.
Tens of millions.
If they want more information, how do they find PMR?
Right here, guys. Reach out to John Sachs and his team at Property Management Redefined. We'll take good care of you. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bricks and Risk. I'm Timmy Garrity.
And I'm Sean Mooney.
How's it going?
Hey, man.
How was your 4th of July holiday?
4th was good.
Any caracaras?
Lots of hot dogs. Lots of caracaras, too many caracaras.
Any late night Uncle Tony bashes?
I think we had two.
Was he running the chips at the Borgata?
Yeah, we
Where did you guys gamble, by the way, when we go to Atlantic City?
all over. We were Ocean.
Okay. Whoa, we got fancy.
Yeah. Ocean the first night and then resorts on the second night.
Were you drinking martinis with extra dirty and blue cheese olives?
No martinis. Nope.
Okay.
Stick to the script.
All right.
Caracara.
Did you win?
We won both nights.
Damn. And then you just take your winnings and go blow them on the bars in Atlantic City until 4 a.m.?
We go to Ducktown because they have wings until like 3 a.m.
Damn. Are they good?
They're real good.
Have you had them sober?
No.
Okay. So we don't know, folks.
It's like a Pat's steak. Have you ever eaten one sober?
I have.
Not that good.
Sorry, Pats, but...
And then the second time, King's Pub.
Yeah, I know King's Pub.
Which is the Tennessee on that street. Used to be the old Piccalilli.
We were just talking about that.
Wings.
Yeah?
Very good.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we got some drunken dining tips from Mooney if you're ever in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Although Tony's Baltimore Grill is the preferred spot, 24 hours.
That is a great spot. All right, what are we diving into today?
So today we're going to talk about year one of our business life cycle.
Yeah.
And so we'll go back a little bit, jog the memory to talk about what was going on, where our heads were at, some of the challenges, successes along the way in that, first year of getting going.
So my 4th of July, I was able to talk to my brother, Ryan Garrity. What's up, man? And he's a great guy to talk to about lots of things, but I was asking him life,
dating life,
philosophy, investing in real estate. And
he seems like he would be into crypto. I wonder if he's...
You know what? I don't know if he is or not.
He would never let you know.
Yeah, it's true. He wouldn't because he knows I don't like it.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not going to even broach that conversation.
Yeah.
But anyway, he gave me some really good feedback. And one of the things I think that hit home with me, because I'm always looking for feedback on Bricks and Risks because our goal is to get better with every episode. And he said, sometimes you guys stay a little too surfacey and you don't really go as deep as someone like me would appreciate that you go. And he gave me a couple episode examples and said, this episode and that episode. So I thought for this one, for this toppy, I really titled it, What Was Year One Like Becoming an Entrepreneur?
Yeah.
So I'm either going to jar your memory to some emotional distress back when you were thinking about going off on your own, but let's go even before you turn on the lights at Mooney Insurance Brokers. How long, well, I should say how long. How much time did it take for you to think about doing it and then actually getting to turn on the lights? Do you remember?
So I'll go even further. Is like the first day that I walked into my first insurance job. Maybe not the first day, but very early on.
What was your first company?
State Farm.
State Farm for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, in Conchi for a couple of years. But at that time, like coming out of college and, first job, it was very early on, and I've said this before on the show, was that I knew at a very early stage in my career that I'm going to do this. Right?
You're going to have one of these yourself.
Yeah.
Why do you think you knew that?
I think I looked around. Like I was always in rooms with other agents. Like I would get sent to like the regional office for different events, training. So I was always around these people,
these owners
that owned their offices. And I just always remember thinking like, I don't know how to say this.
I'm better than everyone.
Just not.
That was a joke, folks.
And just not being impressed on either how they ran it or just their level of knowledge about either running the office or insurance specific.
So it was almost like it was almost like the mentality of like, man, if this guy or girl is doing it, why can't I do it? I think I would do it even better than that.
Yeah. And so on two levels. So like on that level, but also too is like, I was sizing it up to think like, if I were to do it, I would do this, and this that they're not doing. And if I can add in these additional things, I'm going to be
you can go better than that.
Way better. Yeah.
Interesting. And that was early on.
Yeah, very early.
Okay. And
so part of that was being on the exclusive side, meaning only selling their products and very limited to, hey, you can write insurance, but only if it fits in this.
Big box insurance, one flavor of ice cream, as we've called it.
And so at a very early stage, I was thinking, oh man, well, if I do this, if I get outside of a one company insurance agency, I'll be able to offer so much more.
You'll have more opportunity for clients, like business owners. Because one thing I think you said about like the State Farms and the Allstates is like, we didn't even offer business insurance.
No.
Like if someone came in and said, I need insurance for my business, we're like, go down the street, go talk to Billy, go talk to Sally.
Yeah.
So that was probably one thing. All right. So this is like 22, 23 years ago.
Yeah.
You started having those thoughts.
Yeah.
But again, to give the audience context, Sean worked for those, big box insurance companies for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when was it at your last big box insurance brokerage that you started really like mapping out Mooney Insurance Brokers?
So it was probably so I was there for 8 years, and it was probably the last 2 that I was like, I need to get serious about this. I need to start thinking about how I'm going to put it together. So for 2 years, kind of.
Wow.
And so I had to then go make my own connections and talk to people, because if you're exclusive, you only know that exclusive world. So I had to like pick up the phone and call. I mean, I was going to talk to different agents all over
Wow.
that I didn't even know.
You were reaching out to people you didn't know, and you're like, "Hey, dude, tell me about this. How hard
Yeah.
was this, or how'd you do this?"
And a lot of times it just be like, I think that they thought I was coming to them because I wanted to work for them.
Right.
Like they were trying to recruit me to come on
They
board.
fooled me, Jerry.
Yeah. But I was really just doing the homework to like figure out, oh, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And
Right.
how do you pay producers? What's your contract? What's your splits? What are your products? Like, what are your specialties? Like
Yeah.
just trying to figure out, because I had no idea. I had no exposure to that world. So I had to do my homework to figure out.
You did a
How-
lot of research.
Yeah.
And started. Were you kind of just like writing things down? Did you have a legal pad?
Oh yeah.
With a number 2 pencil?
It was I did have a binder at the time where I was like, all right, this agency works with these companies.
No
And-
way.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And like it was like all put together so that I would have like reference, like I could go back and be like, all right,
Yep.
what was this? Or who they work with, you know? So a lot of legwork to really go out and figure out what I perceived to be like the best road to get to where I wanted to go.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. I would say for myself, I'm going to go back to the early days of becoming a realtor, becoming a solo agent.
Well, prior to that was corporate
Yep.
mortgages.
Yeah. So I did about 8 years in corporate America, a little over 2 years with JP Morgan Chase as a street loan officer. And then I did about 6 years with Pulte Homes in their mortgage division, Pulte Mortgage. And that was in management. It was like middle management. So did very well with that. When the opportunity wasn't going to work for me anymore and I lost my job, I literally, like, I was halfway through my MBA because Pulte, convinced me to do that.
Yeah.
Like, we'll pay for it, but you have to stay here for 10 years. And they barely paid for anything. So I almost just, flipped the bird and said, I'm just going to finish this thing on my own and pay for it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of already knew for a few years that I wanted to like help people buy, sell, rent, and invest in real estate. And it was really sitting in the mortgage chair at Pulte, and so many people would come up to me. The sales team was like 50 people. We had 25 communities all over greater Philadelphia. Each one had like 2 or 3 salespeople. Some had 1. And I would help them all day sell more homes, but through mortgages. Like someone would come in, the numbers were a little tight. I'd rearrange the money from like a closing cost credit to like discount points. The payment would get right where they wanted it, and it just worked. So I did a lot of problem solving, but so many people were like, why are you not selling the homes? And at the time I was, like mid to upper 20s. And I was like, I don't want to work on the weekends. I like my weekends. I like hanging out with friends, dating. I like going to the Jersey Shore, the South Jersey Shore.
Where were you living at that time?
I was living, so I bought my first house.
Yeah.
My first house I bought, I was 24. I was still at Chase.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that while I was learning the mortgage industry and being a loan officer. I saved my money from year 1 and year 2, and I bought a condo, and I house hacked it. I brought in 2 roommates.
Yeah.
And then, so at this
Who were
point,
the first 2 roommates in that place?
was Dan Pavlik
He was the first?
and Doug Robinson. Pav and Fresh. What's up, boys?
I thought I saw Fresh on Sunday.
So anyway, those are my first 2 roommates. And so then I'm going through Pulte. All these people are like, why aren't you doing this? I'm like, nah, I'm comfortable. I'm complacent, let's call it. Making good money, got my weekends off. I like what I do. I'm building relationships with people until there was no opportunity anymore. So I think what had kind of happened is when I got laid off, I got severance, I got some money for school, and I got unemployment. So I had a year worth of a small amount of income, the freaking quarter of what I was making, to keep me alive in year one. So during year one, the first thing I said is, I want to go get my real estate license. I want to be a realtor. And I
Wait,
want to
and what was
build
that?
a business.
Like, what was like, so did you know someone that you like with me, I had to go out and talk to all these people.
Yep.
Did you know someone close that you could like go to and ask questions because you had no exposure to it?
Yeah.
Well,
So I had, I had some family in real estate. I had cousins, Keith and Sean Adams.
oh
What's up,
yeah.
boys? Very successful
Yeah.
agents. I had Ryan Petrucci. What's up, Rye? And I had like a couple other people I just knew in the industry, and I bought them all lunch and said, how hard was it to get started? At this point, I already knew I was either like taking my classes
Okay.
or like I just passed my test.
And was it because all those people at Pulte were like, you should do this? Like, was that kind of like,
Got me thinking.
yeah.
I think it got me thinking that was probably what I would enjoy doing more than the numbers and sitting at a desk, which they were right.
Yeah.
So they saw what I enjoyed, which was really problem solving for them, selling more homes. And then for me, I was a pretty confident guy. I was experienced. I'm like getting my MBA, met Maria, like doing well. Like I feel good where I am in life, own a house. And I just said, you know what? I want to get my real estate license because I don't want this company or this manager hanging over me anymore
Yeah.
saying, well, if you don't do this, like, we don't want you here anymore. Because that's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
And so that made me decide to get my real estate license because I knew from talking to those people, you're your own boss. That was number one. Number two, it was in a field that I knew I was very interested in, doing something I was passionate about. And three, I had like some survival money for year one. I was married. I had all the stuff I just said. So I just went out, got my license. I talked to all these people in real estate. I didn't go to work with any of them. So all those people I talked to said, come with me, come work here. You'll love it. I didn't do that. I said, no, I wanted to just learn what the opportunities were and how hard it was for them to really get started. That's what I was kind of gleaning from the beginning. And then when I went out and interviewed with 3 different residential real estate brokerages, I actually went with the one that was the least well known. So it was small. It was only like, I think it was like 6 people at the time. But they were working with real estate investors. It was called Brown McKinney. Shout out to Brown McKinney, Rudy Brown. Thank you for everything. And I wanted to start there because I also knew I want to get my real estate license so I can be a business owner, work for myself, freedom, flexibility, don't got to worry about anything hanging over my head. But I already bought my first house. How do I own more real estate in the future to build wealth? Because I'd already realized wealth from purchasing my first house when I was 24. And when I got into real estate, I was 30. So it was really like where I was, what I knew I wanted to do, talking to enough people, having confidence. That's what landed me at Brown McKinney.
And it wasn't, it wasn't the big box. You kind of did the routine with the big box shops.
Yeah, I interviewed with one big box shop and one larger independent brokerage. And then Brown McKinney was like a very small startup independent brokerage.
And so was it so it sounds like the people at Brown McKinney
Yep.
were more the deciding factor why you landed there.
Yeah, shout out to my buddy, James Yoakum. James was working at Brown McKinney at the time.
Yeah.
And when I stopped working at Pulte Homes and I started networking and just like you, talking to people, I actually met James through LinkedIn. We got connected somehow and he was doing some investing and he's working at Brown McKinney as an agent.
Yeah.
So then we got beers. I think we went to the US Hotel in Manayunk. Shout out to the US Hotel right down the street. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, tell me about what you do. What's your day like? Where are you trying to go? Who are you working with? Like, how hard is it? How much money do you get when you close one of these deals? And it was funny. Like he had a really good client that was buying like 50 to like 75 properties a year.
Wow.
And he was their agent. But every deal you'd make like $500, $1,500, $2,000. And then they would just rent it on their own. but he was doing like so many transactions. And I was like, this is interesting. So then I started like asking about that. So I kind of like hooked up with a few investors like early on and made those connections and started doing that for them. And then I started cutting ties with some because I'm like, yeah, I'm not a doormat.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and not that James was at all. He was just doing it a different way. And I think I started to find my way through that.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to understand the investing game. How does real estate investing work? Why are these clients of James like buying all these properties, doing minor repairs and holding them? And why is this guy or girl over here like buying a shell and putting 100,000 into it and flipping it?
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference? Like, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? So I started like learning a lot about that. All right, here's another one I wanted to get to. Trying to go too deep. Was when we started our, let's call it, I'll even go when I was a solo agent. So you started Mooney Insurance Brokers. I started my real estate business.
Yep.
You know, you didn't affiliate with anyone. You didn't have any partners. Neither did I. And you,
There was a different vetting process for me
yeah,
that I did need to partner with, because with insurance, these carriers, so this does go directly into year one, was once I launched and got out there and got an office, it was my assumption that all these insurance companies would want me
would come to
sell
you.
their products.
Hey, Sean.
So
So you got yourself a little insurance license here. You want to sling our stuff?
yeah, not the case. So
They're like, we don't like paisley brims.
yeah, Paisley Brims, out. So what I had to do was I had to hook into, so now they call them like aggregators. So,
Yeah, explain that.
so the way it works is you can have a direct contract with a carrier. So I represent this company.
Give an example. What company?
I don't know, Nationwide.
Okay.
So I have a contract with Nationwide to write their insurance products.
Okay.
There's a different model out there that is an agency can work with an aggregator, meaning they have a cluster of,
They have 20 companies, let's say.
well, they work with 100 agents, right?
Okay.
Like me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that volume, they hold the contract with the,
Oh, I got it. It's almost like a middle person.
it is.
Okay.
I call it like a clearinghouse, right?
Yep.
So basically,
Like Publishers Clearinghouse?
yeah,
Like those big checks?
correct.
People in bathrobes?
The big ones.
curlers?
Yep.
All right.
So what happened was I jumped out. I started calling carriers. They're like, beat it. You need, $1 million of premium before we even start to even have a conversation.
Mhm.
I'm not there. I said, well, what else is there? What other,
Yeah.
if I can't do this.
I don't have that.
So then I did my research.
What's option B?
Did my research. Aggregators was the next entry point to clear that hurdle a little easier. You don't need the $1 million. Can you promise that we'll get like 500 over the next 2 years, right?
Wow.
If you can do that, then we can get you plugged in and we can give you these carriers and give you access and that sort of thing.
Wow.
So then,
So it was like trust, but less than what those
Right.
nationwides.
well, and they hold, hundreds of millions of dollars of volume.
Right.
So they're already like have the relationship.
Mhm.
Right. So now they pick who they want to work with. And, I was doing insurance for a while and I kind of like had a business plan and mapped it all out. Like,
So you only had to impress that middle person
correct.
in order to get access to lots of different carriers.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or at least a seat at the table, like
Yeah.
to pitch yourself.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yep.
So, but then it became, all right, now I got to interview. So now I got to interview all these aggregators because there's a bunch out there.
How many did you have to interview?
So it was probably,
Knowing you, more than 4.
it was 5 or 6. It was 5 or 6, but I knew right away after talking to 2 or 3 were just out. Like, well, I'm reading your contract and like, this is not good for me.
Yep.
So those 3 are out. Then it became like, I'm down to like 2, maybe 3 that were in the running,
Yep. And you narrowed it down from there.
Yep.
You can only pick one aggregator, right?
1.
Yeah.
That you're going to like basically funnel all your business through.
Are you still technically connected with them today?
Yep.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool.
Yeah. And they do a great job. They're kind of hands off. They were different. It's called Iron Peak. Used to be Iroquois Insurance.
Shout out to Iron Peak.
They're out of New York. And they're like hands off. Like, just go run your agency, do your thing.
It's like a trust relationship.
Yep.
We trust you. You're a good dude.
Yep.
And it just gets better over time.
Yep. So, so I landed with them and then started to get access into different carriers, just by way of the connection with them.
Okay. So that's kind of what got you started to be like, okay, I can actually take on Tim as a client.
Yep.
If Tim says, hey, can you do my auto insurance and my homeowner's insurance? I can take on Tim because I have Iron Peak, and I'll just figure out what's the best spot for Tim.
Yep. And it
Through Iron Peak.
1 year, if you can come out year one and you write business, then it's like, all right, go to carrier B. Say, listen, look at this is what I did for carrier A. This is what I can do for you. And you kind of leverage that to show, all right, now I have a track record. I'm running an agency. I got these appointments. I'm writing business. I'm writing good business. Can you now at least talk to me about getting appointed with carrier B?
Okay.
So those are the steps. And this was all year one, trying to kind of put the pieces together, because I didn't know. I didn't have, as much as I talked to people, nobody was doing what I was doing, like scratch, starting from zero.
Right. Yep.
Like, a lot of these guys were like third generation agencies that were just,
They got handed something,
right.
which nothing wrong with that.
No, it's fine.
It's not what you had.
Right. It was for me, it was just different. So I had to do it differently. I had to figure out, geez, how am I going to do this? And kind of feel my way through it
Yeah.
for year one.
All right. So that's all super helpful. Let's talk about, you pick your office space
Yeah.
in the back room.
Yeah. Craigslist.
Craigslist.
I found the,
Shout out to Craigslist. Do they still exist?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know either.
It's probably like $1 billion company still.
Probably. So you find this subspace.
Yeah.
An
So it was a financial planner that,
Okay.
I think she was older and kind of on the sunset in the back half of her career. So she was still leasing
She's
this.
like, I'll take your rent.
Yeah. Well, she had, it was a pretty big space. But I guess she thought, well, if I'm losing employees, right, and I have this extra space, hey, why don't I rent it? So put it up on Craigslist. And I'm looking all over.
You show up in a suit and tie. I bet you were dressed up for that.
I think I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not a tie. No, maybe a tie back then. People were rocking ties. I rocked ties all the time back then.
I think that I probably was not wearing a tie.
Okay.
But it's definitely a suit coat.
Yeah.
Like
sport coat,
yeah,
button-down shirt.
Yeah.
No paisley hat.
Not yet. I had to mature into that.
You're like, I like Obey, but I don't love Obey yet.
But Obey doesn't make suits.
Right. That's true.
So
very true.
It was literally Craigslist, talked to her. She's like, oh yeah, come on in. Loved the idea. Loved the idea that it was kind of like, oh, insurance, it's kind of financial. It's kind of like not what I do, but kind of linked to what I do. And then just had this little broom closet in the back.
Did you open the door and you heard mouse sounds?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
You're like, oh, what the hell was that?
Bring your own heater type of setup.
She's like, it's cool. I got pellets. We'll feed the mice while you eat. I always get food for them. It's fine, Sean.
So it was a small little space, sublease in Ambler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, mine was a little less complicated.
We didn't get to my desk though.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the desk.
So
you found the office on Craigslist. You're sharing space with the mice.
Found a desk
IKEA?
on Craigslist.
You found you probably found an IKEA desk on Craigslist.
Yeah.
It's $10 at IKEA. It's $250 on Craigslist. You're like, it's 75% off. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. So then so I got the desk. I had to go pick it up, brought it back, didn't fit. my space. So then literally had to lop off part of the desk in order to make it fit in my space.
Was it one, was it one of those desks when you cut it, it looks like cardboard?
Oh, yeah.
It's not like full wood.
Yeah.
It's like open.
Yeah.
Like a hollow desk.
Yeah.
You're like, you get too close to the desk, you're like, oh shit, got some stuff on my shirt.
Yeah. It was exactly that. And like you're just praying like nobody comes to your office.
Right. You're like, I don't want anyone here.
We'll meet out here in the conference room.
Right.
Which we did have a conference.
I got to be good on the phone.
Yeah.
There's no Zoom.
No.
All right. So you would meet people in the conference room. Would you meet people out like at their homes and stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was probably bigger back then.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to come see your house.
Yeah.
Show me what I'm working with here.
Well, that's what I did when I was working for Allstate. So it was kind of natural for me to be like, oh, I'll just come over because they needed signatures. There was no like document.
Yeah, because there was no electronic signature. So you had to do it in person.
Trying to get someone to like fax, like sign and fax, like really wasn't an option.
Nightmare.
So that was all kind of the pieces for developing this business, this idea. Year one, with the struggles of trying to carve this thing from scratch and get it up and going.
Hey guys, that's it for the end of part 1. We're actually going to end this episode right now and dive into part 2 next week. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all BNR episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.